Yes, sir?
If the group is not mine, that is just a couple of questions that had been asked in your absence and was answered. I wasn't totally comfortable with the answer, and I was hoping you might take just a minute to respond.
Certainly, certainly.
One is, and I don't know if this is a question, but a statement that I don't clearly understand this particular point. And what I don't understand is the statement. Now, we went from very beginning, who is God and Allah, and he dealt with the devil, Yaqub, and so on. And we learned, which is totally contrary to Christian theology, that Allah is a man, and that Allah is the father of the original man, and that Allah came in the personage of Master Farad Muhammad, who was a man, and I'm assuming was born of a woman, just like every other man. I think I also heard that Master Farad Muhammad was a white man, or his complexion was such that he would appear to be a white man. And that he revealed himself as God only to the messenger Elijah Muhammad. And our knowledge of Allah and Master Farad Muhammad came through the messenger. What I don't understand is that this whole thing of Allah is a man, Allah ain't a man. And the other thing is that I'm just a bit, and I guess one of the things that was a problem for me in accepting Christian theology that turned me off from the church, and even made me just a bit angry with God himself, if I might be very honest. I said, who is this God who knows that I am a person seeking to clearly understand who he is and how he exists, yet he does not reveal himself to me? And I'm feeling that way, right now. Here I'm getting some teachings here from the messenger, totally different from all that I've been taught all of my life. And brother, it's just as hard for me to grab this as the other word. And I need, if you would, just to, help me with that just a bit.
Okay. Now, first of all, I want to say that there is an old saying that truth is stranger than fiction. Some of our people would rather believe that a spirit created the heavens and the earth rather than to believe that man is capable of doing this that has been ascribed or given to a spirit or non-entity. Now, there are many things that have been said in the statement that you made that we could take the whole night on. And what I would like to do is pick up on it and give you germs of thought on it and then deal with it in a total subject. Because if we have misunderstood God all these years, we can't say we're going to understand God in a day. But the key to understanding the reality of the divine being is understanding the reality of yourself. Now, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in telling us that Allah, God, is a man, that puts him on the outside of the whole Islamic world. Because the whole Islamic world believes that God is a spirit. Now let's put this up on the board. Or they say God is a supreme force. Right? But there is no force that we know of in the universe that doesn't have behind it intelligence.
Right.
Electricity is a force, but it's not intelligent. So we just can't say that the universe was created by a force and leave it like that, because there's too much intelligence in the design and order of the universe to say that it was just a force that created it, but forces don't have intelligence. So it must be something that is force, all right, but a force that is governed and guided by intelligence. All right, so we got intelligence here. Now, look, brothers, sisters, the prophets say they heard God speaking to them in their ear. What force do you know of that speaks? Come on. Do you know any force? Name any force that you study in physics, chemistry, any force in the universe that communicates words in a language in the ear of men.
Yes, sir.
Can you name one? No, you can't. So if the prophet said they heard God's voice, what force has a voice? A voice speaking words in a language that the prophets understood. God didn't present himself to all of the prophets, but he communicated with them through what they call dreams, visions, and they heard his voice. But only one prophet in the scripture says he saw God face to face. And God spoke to him out of his mouth. That's Moses. Abraham did say he saw him.
Exposed one, didn't he?
Yes.
For the three.
Yes. Now, if we want to understand the reality of God, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that we live in a material universe. And God would have no pleasure in creating a material universe if he himself were nothing of matter. Everything that he created, you see. And there are things that he created that you don't see, but nothing that he created is outside of matter. Spirit and energy is wrapped up in matter. Even down to the very most intense light. They say it's a wave, but that wave is also matter and energy. Oh, brother. Even when they put an X-ray, which is we would say a lower form of light than laser, but the X-ray passes through you, but the X-ray still is matter. Now, if this is so, then if Master Farad Muhammad was born of a woman, how could he be God? But the Christians teach that Jesus was born of a woman. Yes, they do. And they say that Jesus lived like ordinary men and then grew to become God, and all in heavens, all the powers in the heavens and earth were turned over to Jesus, so that Jesus became the Christ, which means true God, true man. That's Christian teaching. But when you tell the Christian that God is a man, he don't want to hear it, but yet Jesus was a man. Before and after his resurrection, Jesus was man. All right? Now, here comes Master Farad Muhammad. Now, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that Master Farad Muhammad's father was Allah before him. What does Allah mean? The Quran opens up saying, I, Allah, am the best knower. Well, the one who is the best knower is Allah. See? Now look, there's no force that you know that says it is the best knower, though knowledge is the supreme force. Is that right? But knowledge has to be contained in something. Spirits don't walk around talking and conveying knowledge. It's a mind that contains knowledge, and man is the supreme life in the universe. And he's formed right after God himself. This is why the Quran says Islam is not your religion. It is your nature. It is the nature of God and the nature in which God created man. He gives you his same nature. Well, if you got his same nature, then you and him is the same. So you're not a child of God. You are God, a descendant of the Creator himself. Now let's look at this. All right. Now it's time to get you. The time has come. All these prophets have been talking about God will come. There ain't no prophet that said God is present. They said God will come. Moses kept saying, and when he comes. Noah said, and when he comes. Lot said, and when he comes. And even Jesus said, and when he comes, the Spirit of truth, he will guide you into all truth. Jesus wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about somebody that he recognized as greater than himself. Right. David, the great prophet of Israel, looking down in the wheel of time, saw the master prophet. This is why when you call the Honorable Elijah Muhammad a messenger, that's the cheapest title you could give him. Because he's not just a messenger, he's the master of all prophets. He masters what they taught. They were in darkness. They revealed words of light, but they themselves didn't understand the depth of what God had given them. But the one who comes in the last day don't come as a prophet. He comes with God. Excuse me. Everything white start running, you know, when truth comes. All right, now, brothers, we're going to finish this quickly. Master Farad Muhammad, he's not on the scene. But it is written that God would come after the sheep that was lost. God would come after you. Now, he wouldn't send no prophet. He would come himself. The book says, in that day when God comes, this is the Bible, every eye shall see him. Every tongue shall be made to confess. How you going to see something what you can't see? What do you mean? And in that day, when you see him, you will be like him, and he will be like you. What are you talking about? That's in the Bible. See, as long as you don't see God as yourself, you won't call out of yourself your capabilities. But as long as you think that the master of the universe is some spirit out there, you will never see yourself with the capabilities and possibilities of mastering the very forces of the heavens and the earth. But you are the natural master of the forces of the universe. But you're going to have to grow into that now. All right. Now here comes the God talking. It's time to go after the sheep that is lost. Where are they lost? They're lost in the West, among wolves. Who lives in the West? The Caucasian. Well, anything that's jet black, if he come into that house, they'll spot him immediately.
That's right.
So the old Christian said, prepare me a body that I may go down. Brother, this is beautiful wisdom if you understand it. Here's a man coming that's going to judge two people. The white man and the black man. He got to judge them, so he's got to have the nature of both in order to deal with both.
That's right.
So in order to produce one that can get among the devils, oh, brother, this is something powerful. Now, I'm just going to give you the example. In order to produce one that can get among the devils, he's got to find the right earth to plant his seed in. Look, there's all kind of products that a farmer can produce. You just got to know the nature, quality of the earth, and the nature and quality of your seed and what you want to produce. Then you find the right earth for your seed. One thing that we have never been taught, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad mentions it in the book on knowledge of self, the white man never wanted to teach black people the science of mating.
That's right.
We just lay down and have children and luck up on geniuses because we so great. Wise men study themselves, know themselves. They say, well, I know the multiplier. Now let me study what product I want. And if I want to produce this product, then if I am the multiplier and I know what I am, then what is the multiplicand? Where will I find what I'm looking for to make my product? For instance, if I know that I am a 4 and I want to produce an 8, then I've got to find a 2 to multiply with to produce the 8. This is called the product. This is called the multiplier. This is called the multiplicand. Is that right?
That's right.
All right. Well, it's the same way in mathematics it is in life. If I know what I possess, my characteristics, my qualities, but I know what I need, then I set my sight to look for the woman that has what I'm looking for, so that when I multiply with her, I'll get the product that I'm after. The wise father of Master Farad Muhammad was after a product that could get in among the devil. And the scriptures say this of him. They said he came in sinful flesh to condemn sin in the flesh. Oh, this is heavy stuff. Now look, Master Farad Muhammad, yes, a man, born February 26, 1877. He's not the originator of the heavens and the earth. No, he wasn't here then, but he's from that same line. But his knowledge is so great that it supersedes the wisdom even of his father. Now listen to this. He was so wise, so says the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The man pictured and extracted the language of the people on Mars. He spoke the language of the birds, talked to the wild beasts, man. He knew the language of the human family. I mean, he listened to you think. Know your thoughts. That ain't no heavy thing when you understand. That's minor stuff. But the heaviest thing is to control the universe and master its laws and make the universe bow to his will.
That's right.
That's the kind of power that he has.
Right.
Now he comes to North America, as the scripture said, he came alone.
Right.
And the book said he would measure the earth,
Right.
measure it,
Yes, sir.
and tell its measurement. And when he came, he shot to us a barrage of questions. What is the square mileage of the earth? How much is the land? How much is the water? He's running it, and he gives the answer. 196,940,000 square miles. That's the square miles of the earth. The water is 139,685,000 square miles, and the land is 57,255,000 square miles. He started running the circumference, the diameter, and the distance between the planets. He's telling the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, look, man, I'm the master of this, and I'm going to make you the master of this, so I'm going to give you a flag that shows a master. I don't want you to have no little jive stars and stripes. I don't want you to have no little jive rag around you. I'm giving you a flag that shows a master. I'm giving you the sun, the moon, and the star. And the only man that's qualified to wear that flag is a master. And you got to master the law that governs the universe in order to be qualified to wear the flag of the universe. But I'm going to give you that because I'm a master, and I'm going to make you a master. But before I make you a master, I got to make one man among you a master. Because I'm half original now. I got a white-looking face, though my father's a jet black man. But I'm coming to put a black head on a black body because I'm not to be the head of that body. I am to be the head of that body, but I'm not to be the head of that body. Therefore, I search among the lost found to find me one man worthy. And he found a little Georgia-born black man that only went to the 3rd grade of school, and he taught him 3.5 years and went away.
That's right.
Now, to prove that he's God, he leaves a man that ain't went to school.
That's right.
And the man confounds the scholars with what his teacher taught him. Look there now. To prove, look here. See? To prove that he's God, he tells little Georgia-born Elijah what was on Mars and what is on the moon and the nature of the moon and how the moon got to be the moon. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad revealed it, and Whitey go up and bear witness. Elijah, right? Here's a little Georgia-born man telling you what was coming down the pike. We couldn't even see the pike, much less what was coming. And every word that Elijah spoke is right on it. Who taught him but a master? See? Now those who say that Master Farad Muhammad is not God, then who are you worshiping? You say, I worship the true God, Allah. Well then what has your God taught you that is superior to what that man taught Elijah? How come your scholars can't handle the followers of Elijah? How come the world couldn't deal with that man Elijah? How come the white man, who is a vicious beast, brother, God raised up a little lamb in the midst of a beast, and the beast couldn't eat Elijah? Who was the God shutting that man's mouth and opening the mouth of Elijah? We don't carry no guns. We were taught by Master Farad Muhammad through the messenger don't even carry so much as a penknife. And they have attacked us, and we've taken their weapons and killed them with their own weapons. What God has been with us? And to prove that God is still with us, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has left, but he left his word with us. Now we take the same word and go right back to what the white man tore down with hypocrites among us. And we are building it back up, defying the world. God is present. And you're going to see it more and more when the devil start attacking in the future. You see that they won't be able to do nothing with Elijah Muhammad nor his followers. No, there's a God. He's present and he got power. Now he teaches the messenger. And he puts the messenger in power over the devil. The messenger sit right over here on 4847 South Woodlawn. He wouldn't go to no devils. The governor called him. Mr. Muhammad, we'd like to speak to you. Say, you may come. The president called him. Mr. Muhammad, we'd like you to be at our inauguration. Not me. I don't go to the White House. You come here. God's man. He sat there with architects. Architects telling him that I studied architecture. I'm an architect. He said, yes, but I'm the messenger of Allah. You do it the way I tell you it should be done. I know what you know not, and what you know. The man, I tell you, that man Elijah Muhammad, oh, brother, the greatest black man that ever came among us. And to prove that you're God, Elijah Muhammad was made a God right in the midst of us. Oh, yeah. Oh, brother. And to prove, he going to prove that you God. He going to make one out of you. In spite of yourself. You just take his teachings and study them and see, will you not make people bow? But when they bow to you, don't you misuse them, because that's your trial. Because any man will bow to you if you have superior wisdom. Now I conclude this little discourse. Well, we got to get on with our class. We certainly are. Look, dear brothers and sisters, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, naturally, as a man, he got to submit to the law of death. The Holy Quran says, you know, Allah don't die. Allah don't die. But what does it mean? Since the flesh and the blood is the housing for the spirit, the flesh obeys the law. If he creates you in his nature, he bows to the same law that he created. But what is it that continues? Is to wisdom. Now, what is his role? He is to make a nation out of you and me. And this nation that he makes, he's going to put his wisdom and light and knowledge in this nation, and this nation is to rule forever, just like that sun out there governs the whole universe. You are to be a spiritual son to the whole entire planet of man. And that's what the ritual of Mecca is all about. People going to Mecca of every race, every color, and every hue, making circuits around the black stone. You are the black stone. You are the nation that the stone is referring to. And black, brown, red, yellow, and white are to revolve around you and take nourishment from you, even as the planets take nourishment from the sun, to bear witness that there is no God but Allah. And he is a man. And he came to bring out of man what is dormant in the black man, to make him God again, respected, worthy, and honored. I think we call each other worthies in the high masonry. And you are to be a worthy and a grand master. You. And you too. Because the messenger says the woman is the second self of God, the second self of man. And you, sisters, have never known your great value to God and to the nature and power of your man. You have not known yourself. You have a better idea about your power than he has about his. But you're still a long way off, sisters, in the knowledge of yourself. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, when he gets finished teaching you, and this is just the beginner's course, what do you think you'll be like when the finishing school is put on you? This is the beginning course. Now, you know, dear brother Shriner, if in the shrine you get 33 degrees of a circle, that's not even enough to stand you upright. You got to have 90 degrees to make a perpendicular, right? But that's not nothing but a quarter of the circle. The circle is 360 degrees. Well, where's the rest of that knowledge? When you get that knowledge, you become a master of the universe. And that, my dear brothers, is what we're going to evolve to. Man is God. And every day I look at the white man, I bear witness that man is God. When I see the white man and he's a Johnny-come-lately, and I see the marvelous things that this grafted man is doing, he's only a hint to me of what the original man can do when the original man is back to himself, and he does it naturally. That Caucasian is a monster. He's right now in the laboratories trying to create life. Yes, sir.
But it was a series about that about 8 months ago. It was a special TV program that came on, and it was talking about philosophy.
Yes.
Right.
Cloning.
Right. They were talking about how they can reproduce the split image of the individual.
Well, see? Now here's a man talking about cloning. If you got a giant over here, you just take a cell from him and you can reproduce him in totality. Well, now, if the white man can do that on such cheap level, then the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, we as a people represent God. We are the God family. Then the very nature that is in the God is also in you. That's why we should always show respect to one another. See, this is why we never understood why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had us saying sir to one another. Had us showing respect to one another. Because when God meets God, they don't come there, hey, nigga, what's going on? We just don't talk like that to one another, brother. I know when I look at you, even though you may be far off in your actions from being the God that you are born by nature to be, nevertheless, we must respect you not for what you are in reality, but what you are circumstantially, but for what you are in reality. And you are God. And James in the Bible says, and I close this point off with this, he says, how can you say you love God whom you have never seen and hate your brother whom you see every day? What is James saying? When you see your brother, boy, you looking at God. And you've been running around here trying to find a mystery God, and the mystery God don't exist. It's us under the wisdom and power of the supreme being that carries out the functions of the divine supreme being. We are gods. David the psalmist says, ye are all God's children of the Most High God. So I hope that now some of this is clear, some of it is clear. At least it starts to clear up. Then we're going to take a whole lecture on it and go into the attributes and the characteristics of God as found in the Quran and the Bible, and show you that these are not attributes of spirits, these are the attributes and characteristics of the divine human being. God is ever living, that's true. The nation, there's no end to us. We'll always be here. See how cells in the body die all the time, but the body continues? Every time you get in the bathtub, you see that ring around the tub? That's dead cells. But you live, but the cells have died, but they gave birth to other cells. You straight? Well, that's the way it is with God. The body remains, and it keeps on producing one, who will be the head of that nation. And that head is always the best knower. And how can you tell that Master Farrakhan Muhammad is the best knower? He's revealing that which no man ever considered before. And when they try to fight it, the more they fight it, the more they say, man, he's right. See, now I tell you something. I had to go all the way to the east to find out that the real man was in the west. A brother called me from Denver today, Colorado. He went to Senegal, and he studied in a class under Dr. Cheikh Anta Diop, one of the most brilliant black men on the scene today. And Dr. Cheikh Anta Diop is getting to the point where he's seeing that the black man is really the father of all men, but there's a point in his knowledge where he don't have the root of it, and here the root comes out of Georgia, out of a little humble black man named the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And because we're so disrespectful of ourselves, we don't think that God is wise enough to take a black man from among us and make anything out of him. See, and when you see a man stand up and say, I am the messenger of God, and you say, oh man, he's a nigger just like me. He ain't nothing. And then that man do a work like Elijah Muhammad did in our midst, and you still don't want to recognize him, it's because of your disrespect of yourself. So if God wanted to hide, the best place he could hide and never be detected is to just get into one of you and hide. You never find him.